SBS TZR250 challenge. 6 laps this time of the Cadwell Park 2.17 mile circuit. They are on the warm-up lap now, so they're going to come back to the grid and stop for something like about 30 seconds. This race is another restarted race, and they could do with super glue certainly on their tyres to keep them on board. And we lost something like about 8 bikes, that's why it's going to be restarted. But there are going to be 24 riders on this grid, and they're all on identical 125 mile per hour TZR Yamaha production machines. It's the closest of the one-make formula. It's basically the new Pro-Am following the success of the RD 350s from 1981 and 84. Now the series organizer Bruce Cox says that they're all on the same street bikes, so we're bound to see some action. And indeed we have in the first 2 laps that were seen earlier on. And in fact, at Snetterton in mid-season in this championship, there were 8 different leaders in 8 laps, and 4 of them crashed out in quick succession. So we're hoping for close and exciting racing in the 6 laps of this 250 challenge, but we're also hoping that no one's going to fall off. And with me in the commentary box is Mick Grant, our expert and of course very famous rider in his own. I suppose you'd have liked these to be around when you started off, Mick.
It'd have been quite good fun, Tony. I must admit, looking back at my career now, I don't think I particularly want to be out there at the minute. The close-in, the racing, as you said, is very, very close, and all the machines are exactly the same. In fact, about 2 meetings ago, one chap was caught cheating. He'd been playing about with the engine, of course they'd slung him out of the championship. But normally speaking, Rot Skivier, who was the next 125 British champion, polices the whole affair, and he does a very good job of it, and the bikes are pretty well standard.
Right, the man on pole position there, just testing his brakes, is number 12. That's the championship leader, Gary Thrush, and you can see him nearest to us. And then just alongside him is Mike Edwards on bike number 19. He was leading the first aborted race, and that's bike number 19. Bike number 14 is Ian Wareham, also well up in the championship. And bike number 4 on the outside of the front row as they're away, and it looks like a great start from Gary Thrush. Can he get through that first part into Coppice? They should be into about 4th gear there and well up to about 100 miles an hour. Yeah, Thrush has got it. Thrush has got through onto the inside, and he's through Charlie's Bend. Should be in about 4th gear now. On the exit and along onto Park Straight. That was a very exciting but yet controlled start, Mick.
In fact, as they went away from the line, they were packed as close as I've ever seen anything, and I can't think of any reason at all why I would have wanted to be in the middle of that lot, I'll tell you.
And looks like in 2nd place is Andy Muggleton. That's bike number 3. Can't quite see that. Bike number 3. And number 19 looks like he was in 3rd place, and that's Mike Edwards, who led the early part. So they're as close as that. There's not a lot between those TZR 250s.
The race is going to be close all the way through, but because they are on road tyres, and in fact they're all on Dunlop road tyres, unlike racing slicks that get better as the race goes on, these actually start quite good and get worse. So really the dodgy moments start coming normally towards the end of the race when the tyres get very, very soft and the bike wobbles about quite a bit.
Right, well, I did him a disservice. It's actually number 4, Darren Dixon, who's up into 2nd place, as you're watching Wareham there in 4th position in the red leathers as they go through Hall Bends. There's Gary Thrush, the championship leader, the man who said that he wanted to stay upright today and get in the points for his sponsor, and he's doing that at the moment.
I think in actual fact, Tony, the safest place to stay upright would actually be at the front, so he's never got the right idea.
I agree there, Mick, that's quite right. So it's 12, 4, 19 and 14. 19 in 3rd place there, and Mike Edwards from Wigan in Lancashire, the 21-year-old who's actually 3rd in the championship, and a little snake on from the rear wheel there of number 12, Gary Thrush.
Mike Edwards was actually just stuck into 2nd place, and the way he went in the first race that was rerun, I'll just keep an eye on him.
Right, Mike Edwards, that new 2nd place man who's 3rd in the championship. He's got 42 points. He's a protege of former Works Yamaha rider Charlie Williams, and Charlie Williams even bought this TZR250 for him, so that was quite a nice present.
In fact, one of the things about the championship is every machine in it is actually owned and sponsored by a motorcycle dealer. It's quite a novel idea.
Well, a bit on the specification of these bikes. They are twin-cylinder liquid-cooled two-stroked, and of course they're based on the old formula from a few seasons back.
In fact, they're directly a result of the TZ Yamaha, which has been racing for quite a long time. These machines give about 45 horsepower, which is about the same as a small family car. But when you consider how light they are, that's quite a lot of performance.
And there they go, that's Gary Thrush pulling a wheelie there up over the mountain. And through Hall Bends, there's a great gaggle of those riders. And into the hairpin.
Because most of the riders in other classes ride on slicks, I think one reason they crash so much is that they just aren't used to the tyres being so wobbly under racing conditions. And in fact, there's quite a big prize. At the end of the championship series, Yamaha do provide a bike for the 1988 season for them to actually go up a class into super stock.
Right, you're looking 14 there. It's Ian Wareham, the man who's in third place. And of course in the championship he's in fourth position, so he'll be happy with this so far. But the man who's gone up into second place at the moment, bike number 4, is Darren Dixon from Folkestone. And that is the 24-year-old. He's fifth in the championship. And of course we saw him earlier on. He was the highest placed Kawasaki rider. There he is, number 4, looking at the inside. Darren Dixon. My goodness me, he's just taken the lead, but that was a little bit hairy, Mick.
It was a little bit naughty. He put Gary Thrush on the hard shoulder there.
Well, that's what the TZR250s are all about, and it looks like these two are going to have at it hammer and tongs. By no means certain, of course, that they'll be in the same position in 4 laps' time when we get to the end of this 6-lap race. Darren Dixon, highest placed Kawasaki rider in this Superstocks Manufacturers Cup that we saw early on. Now, what's the difference for him between riding the big 4-stroke machine and this little 2-stroke 250?
You couldn't have a bigger difference in the world. These machines are very, very light, with very, very moderate power. Squelchy tyres that are sort of squirming all over the place, as against the Superstocker, which, although it's production-based, has got quite a few racing parts on it, and actually handles more like a racing machine.
A fine shot there of Dixon as he goes through past the barn, and he's crouching down over the tank now, getting his helmet well below that fairing as they come past the start-finish line. And they're just finishing the 3rd lap there. So there's confirmation after 3 laps. First place, Darren Dixon. In second place, number 12, is Gary Thrush. In third place, Ian Wareham. In fourth place is Mike Edwards. And in 5th place is Gregory. Andrew Gregory, of course, number 16, who's 12th in the championship. He's had a 3rd and a 9th place. He was 3rd at Cadwell, and he survived that big 8-lap crash. Now, there's another rider who's come off there. He's perfectly okay. That was number 1. That's Maudsley. That was Kevin Maudsley, the man from Blackpool, who won at Thruxton last week. Now, they did say about him that Maudsley either wins or he crashes. And he's obviously a very disappointed man.
I think Kevin must have had a bad start, and obviously when machines are identical in performance as these are, it's very, very difficult to get to the front, and I rather suspect he was chasing to try and get up there.
Well, our lap charter Paul Simmons, who's actually racing in the 350 event later on this afternoon, Paul, tells me that number 1 Maudsley crashed at the barn, and that's a very awkward corner, because as you exited, of course, there are the steps of the barn.
That's correct, and it's a wee bit adverse, and today the grip will be quite good at barn corner, but normally if it's a wee bit damp it gets very, very greasy.
And this is where he went, and you can see the houses, and down there towards the edge of that barn, and there are some tyre marks down there, so that's possibly where we lost Kevin Maudsley, bike number 1, and they're alongside each other going into Coppice, and that'll be at about 105 miles an hour flat out in 5th gear. And Gary Thrush has got through, he's into the lead, and in second place now, displaced, Darren Dixon.
Because the bikes are equal on power, passing has either got to be done on the brakes, or as he actually did in that particular instance by slipstreaming, which is staying immediately behind the machine in front and once you get the speed up, because of the lack of wind resistance, they whip past at the last minute.
Right, there's Gary Thrush looking on the outside, and just a little bit of a wobbly on there. They are inches apart, and this is what TZR250 is all about. Thrush is going on the outside there again. Dixon, sorry, on the outside. They're just about touching. My goodness me, how did they get away with that? That was certainly close riding. And then pulling in right behind them is number 19, Mike Edwards from Wigan. He's having a go now. He can't get through there. Well, that you can't get much closer, Mick.
In fact, at the chicane, it's quite a difficult place to pass out, and I'm quite surprised he went down the outside, because obviously they him out.
Well, here we come back up to the notorious mountain section. It's very tight there, and in fact, third gear, then snatching fourth gear. And it looks like Darren Dixon has pulled a couple of lengths away there from Thrush, but I'm sure he'll still pull up. And then it's Ian Wareham in fourth place. Ian Wareham, I just saw his red leathers in the background there.
Darren Dixon's been quite clever, really, in that all the passing moves he's made have been up the inside, and that's where Gary Thrush has missed out, really.
After 5 laps, Darren Dixon there ahead on bike number 4. Second place, Gary Thrush, bike number 12. Third place is Mike Edwards. Fourth place, Ian Wareham. Fifth place is Andrew Gregory, and then Johnny Towers, number 32, coming into the equation. But we're on our last lap, so it's now or never for some of them, and I'm sure they're going to have a real crack at it. So let's watch them closely. Mick, there's the leader. He's riding well at the moment.
Yes, I think he should be able to just about hang on to it, but the way these things stop.
Oh, he's off on the grass now, and that's Darren Dixon. That was a massive big wobbly. I didn't think they had that much power. Is that because the tyres are so soft and they're
well,
road
of course,
tyres?
now the tyres are actually getting very warm and very wobbly. It was lucky to stay on there. Maybe he should take up motocross.
And there we are into the mountain. There he is, Darren Dixon, number 4. And he's going through Hall Bends now. And number 19 is in second place, Mike Edwards. Those will be useful points for him to add to his 42. Darren Dixon having a nervous look over his shoulder, just seeing where number 19, Edwards, is going to go and try and slipstream for that flag. In third place, Gary Thrush. And there it is. He's taken it, Darren Dixon, on the Yamaha in the TZR250 Challenge. A great win for him. There he is, Darren Dixon. A superb win for him. And in second place, number 19, and that was Mike Edwards from Wigan in Lancashire. Third place was Gary Thrush. Fourth place, Wareham. Fifth place, Gregory. And sixth